Hi everyone. You know it's coming. It's just a matter of time. You know, there are three things that are kind of looming over our heads right now that we need to be concerned about, in my thinking. We're going to do 3 videos coming up. This will be video 1, and we're going to talk about preparing for the coming lockdowns, shopping or preparing for the coming food shortages with a focus on the stuff that is produced or was produced, used to be produced in the drought areas of our country and other areas of the world. And then the third thing is the pandemic. Now I know there's lots of opinions and thoughts and ways of doing things in regard to the pandemic. But whatever your viewpoint is, and I have mine, we all have opinions and things we think and don't think, or believe and don't believe, but it's going to affect us all. It is now, and it's going to affect us more in the coming weeks and months, I do believe. One of those effects is what this video is going to be about. Again, the coming lockdowns. I'm not a prophet. I'm not prophesying that lockdowns are coming. You know, prophets get a word from the Creator to relay to the people. That's not me. That's not what this is. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that based upon my understanding of what's going on in the world around us, again, we're heading for a lockdown. So we all know we went through a lockdown time period not too long ago, and so we can get some understanding from the previous lockdown or lockdowns, but there's some things that are different this time from the last time. Number one, the last time there wasn't crops in the fields that didn't get or couldn't get harvested because of the lockdown. This coming lockdown, that's part of the history before this lockdown. That's a difference between the last time and this time. Also, the crops that are grown in the drought areas is leading to food shortages potentially, and or inflation, great or hyperinflation. That's a part of things that we have to deal with this coming lockdown that we didn't have going on the last time. Also this time, sadly, we got to consider that the last time our governments were, I don't know the term, experimenting with how to proceed and what to do and what they could and couldn't do, what the people would find acceptable or unacceptable. This time they got all that experience behind them. So this time they might be a little more demanding. The lockdown might be a little more harsh. You know, we just don't know. It might not happen at all. So will we find ourselves in quarantine or whatever for a very long extended period of time? I don't know. I know the possibility is there. And because that possibility is there, and we are into the world of preparedness, me, you, it would be to our benefit, I believe, to get prepared for this thing that might be coming. I have identified 20 areas, not 20 items, but 20 areas to consider in regard to the coming lockdowns. I'll also put that list down in the comments below so you can have access to them at the end of the video, after you watched it all. If you have other areas that we need to work upon, then tell us down below in the comments. Here we are inside. Yes, the shirt, different shirt. I didn't get to finish this video when I started it, which was yesterday. So I got a different shirt on. All right, so the 20 items, I do have a list so I can keep track of where I'm at, what I'm talking about. And item number 1 on the list is food for 1 to 3 months. How long will the lockdown last? We don't know. But you got to start somewhere. And more than likely, when the lockdown starts, should it take place, you will still be able to go a few places if you have the appropriate thing and stuff. More than likely, you will also probably be able to still order stuff online, have it delivered, maybe some delays, but probably can get some things. If you are wondering how much is a month's supply of food, Well, we have a video that I'm going to put a picture of here and a link to it in the description, in which we go over many different easy, quick meals to fix in cases of emergency. So check that video out. I think it'll help you out. Item number 2, first aid supplies. Check your first aid kits. Make sure you got the things you need just for everyday happenings. And keep in mind that when the lockdown occurs, it might be much more difficult to get in to see a doctor, even the emergency room. So you may have to deal with some things, hopefully not, but you might have to deal with some things at that time that you normally wouldn't have to deal with right now. So consider what those things might be. Look, make sure you have the stuff in your kits to cover that, and make sure you got the know-how to take care of it. Now would be an excellent time for those of us who need first aid training to get it. Item number 3, pets. We have pets. We do not have the food for them for an extended lockdown. We are going to have to get quite a bit of pet food. How about you? Don't let your pets go hungry. Item number 4, gasoline or diesel or whatever your fuel is that you need for your vehicles. During the time of the lockdowns, should they happen, it might be very difficult to get to the gas station. You might not even be able to go. And in the event that you have an emergency or you need to get somewhere to check on someone, to pick someone up, in the event you can still do a little bit of shopping, you know, it would be nice if you had the gas to put in your vehicle to get there. So keep your vehicles full of gas. Item number 5, safe indoor cooking options. I'm not talking about your regular stove that you use now. In the event the power goes out, and it may or may not, it might be rolling blackouts. You know, we are talking about a lockdown, not necessarily grid down. You might need to fix a few meals inside. So check that video out for quick meals that you can fix inside. That video also has several safe indoor SHTF cooking methods. Try to make sure you got at least one safe way to cook meals indoors. Item number 6 would be item number 5, basically repeated, but for the outdoors. Now when it comes to cooking outdoors, you got a lot more options to choose from. And most of you probably already have an outdoor cooking option that you use just for fun, to entertain people, have family over and whatnot. If you do, that's great, but make sure you got a little bit of extra fuel for that cooking option, whatever it may be. Item number 7, medications. Do you or does someone in your home take prescription medications? If so, try to get as much extra as you can from your physician. Get a prescription. This would also include over-the-counter meds. So all those things that you need the over-the-counter meds for, probably going to need them more so during the lockdown. It's going to be stressful, people are going to be anxious, headaches, nausea, all the things. Item number 8 is an emergency communications plan. Do you have one in place now? Does everybody who's a part of that plan, do they have the plan? Do they have the numbers? Do they know who to call? Do they know the schedule of calling? You might even consider making a personal family or group Facebook page that's private so other people can't access it, so that whoever, the husband, the father, or someone can post messages, because everybody's got internet access now, right, with their phones, or almost everyone. Assuming the internet doesn't go down, which it probably won't during the lockdown. It could, but it probably won't. In the event of an emergency, you could feasibly communicate over your private Facebook page.
but that would just be a part of your plan. If you don't have an e-coms plan, you need to try to get one put together and make sure everybody who's a part of it knows who, what, when, where, why, and how in regard to that plan. And along with that would be the things, the devices, the phones, the walkie-talkies, the radios, the whatever to do the communication. Number 9 is sanitizers. You know, the hand sanitizers, the alcohol, all that kind of stuff for sanitizing. It all ran out quickly the last time we had the lockdowns. So more than likely, it's going to happen again. Item number 10, household cleaners. Bleach, Clorox wipes, these kinds of things, they ran out in many places the last time. So when people start thinking that the lockdown is imminent, those things are going to sell like hotcakes. Item 11, hygiene, personal hygiene items. Yes, we could all go for a while without deodorant, but do you want to? You and me, we might think it's okay for us, but we wouldn't want everybody else around us to go for very long without it. So, an extra bar of deodorant for him, for her, for each person. Go to the Dollar Tree, dollar store, pick it up. Get an extra bottle of shampoo, conditioner, pack of razor blades, a $1 can of shaving cream, and check the video out. We got some $1 items. You might find some ideas right there. Link will be below. Check that video out. Get some ideas. Personal hygiene. Ladies, you know who you are, you know what you need. Make sure you got it. Item number 12, entertainment. Most of you probably already have things for that. A deck of playing cards, different card games, board games, DVDs, movies, and you may be able to rent movies off of your favorite thing, whatever it is, Netflix, Amazon, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But don't just depend upon the internet for your entertainment. If you get in lockdown, hey, not that it's a good thing, but you can get closer and spend more time with your loved ones. You can do things that you enjoy. Camp out. Learn about survival while you're camping out. Learn how to cook outdoors. Play old maid. Get a puzzle. Work on a puzzle together. So much you can do with the entertainment aspect, but don't get caught up just sitting around. Make a plan now for when the time comes. Make sure you got those things on hand. They're just as important as almost everything else on the list. Item 13 is a combination. This and this. But really, this. Yes, it ran out. If somebody sees you getting more than one roll, they're going to think something about you, but you need it, so go get it. You know it's going to run out. If you don't have a fairly good supply on hand, go get it. Item 14, the laundry. Yes, there are grid down ways of doing the laundry, but right now, for most of us, the grid isn't down and we're not off grid. We have washing machines, so make sure you got the detergent, the whatever stuff that you need to keep that going. Again, we're talking about a lockdown, not grid down. Washing machine, more than likely, is going to keep right on working. So use it. If you use it now, make plans of being able to use it then. Item 15 kind of goes along with item 14. Dishwashing. You're going to need to keep your dishes, pots and pans clean, whether you do them in a sink or you have an automatic dishwasher. Again, lockdown, not grid down. Your dishwasher is going to continue to function if it functions now. Make sure you got the things to keep it functioning. Item 16, trash bags. I don't know where you live or how that works out. Where we live, our garbage is picked up once a week. We have to have it in bags and in cans. I anticipate that the garbage thing will keep going for quite a while. Item 17 has to do with using the bathroom. What you do to get prepared for this depends greatly upon what your circumstances are. But in the event that if you live in the city, suburbs, and you're completely dependent upon the sewer system, public sewer system, to be able to use the bathroom, you need to take the time to get prepared just in case that doesn't work for a period of time. Basically, you can make a commode out of a 5-gallon bucket, various ways of doing that. So if you're unfamiliar with that, take the time now to find different ideas. Be sure you got a 5-gallon bucket. You might want to get one of the camping lid seats that go on it. You can pick those up easily right now, and make sure you got lots of trash bags for it. And yes, you can get far more extensive and various things you can do, but some of those things involve composting, and you may or may not be able to do that where you're at. And I know it sounds odd, but it won't sound so odd if the time comes that you realize that, hey, we could have got a 5-gallon bucket and a few trash bags. Make sure you got some provisions of using the restroom, the bathroom, in the event that the public sewer doesn't work. Item 18, bathing. I don't anticipate that the public water supplies are going to shut off or shut down during the lockdown. They didn't the last time, they probably won't this time. But just in case they do, make sure you got some way for bathing. You know, maybe a big kettle that you can heat on your butane stove, your propane stove, your whatever, to get hot water. You don't have to have a bathtub full of water to take a bath. Item number 19, water, drinking water. You're going to need safe drinking water. Will the water supply shut off? I don't anticipate that it will, but it could. Will it have issues or problems? You know, the old boil your water or boil water advisory type things. I don't know. If that happens during the lockdown, do you have some way to make sure your water's safe? Because we're talking about a time that you may or may not be able to go out to the local whatever store you go to and get a package or a gallon or 5 gallons of water. You need to be certain that you got a way to have safe drinking water. You may need to try to find a source of water. You know, depending upon where you are, you might have a lot of options available to you for water sources. You might not have hardly any. I don't know. But try to figure this thing out. How are you going to have safe drinking water day after day after day? When you're figuring it out, you know, have a primary way, a secondary way. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to do this. Water is very important. Don't overlook item 19. Water, a source of water, ability to have or make safe drinking water. And last on our list, item number 20. As I've been talking about sometimes here, I've said more than likely you will be able to still do this or that or the other thing. One of the things that we will probably be able to do in part will be to still go shopping. And the last time you were able to go get curbside service, there was times if you wore your mask, you could go in this place or that place. There was provisions so that you could continue to shop. This time, it may be a little more complicated. You might need proof, you know, that you have. If you've already had that, you know, okay, on this channel, you know, if you've had the jab or if you haven't had it, that's up to you. We don't think good, bad, right, wrong of you either way. That's a very personal choice, a family matter. Whatever you decided, that's the way it is. But for those of you who haven't gotten the thing, you might want to try to find somebody who has, who can pick some things up for you in the event things work out that way. So make sure you got the ability to go shopping covered. You know, do you have the mask? More than likely you'll be able to go places, but you'll have to have the mask on. Masks are cheap. Yeah, get some. You might need them. You know, the cards or whatever it is that show you have the proof or shows your proof of getting the thing, you know. have it ready. If you got it, great. If you don't, find somebody who does, who can do a few things for you in the event they're required. If there are areas that I overlooked, I forgot, let us know in the comments below. We might save some of us a lot of problems and a lot of issues by simply saying, hey, what about? Then we can consider it. All right, so until I see you the next time, shalom, peace to you and yours. Keep on prepping.